all of our testimonies. The man who originally wrote those words, I will remain confident and I will see the salvation of the goodness of the Lord. That meant he didn't see it right then. He went on to say, one thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, and I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble, how many of you can say that? In the time of trouble he comes to, he will hide me upon the rock. So even when we can't see our way, we have confidence because we know the character of God. So once again, we'd like to stand before you for a few moments today, and we're going to share with you from the book of 1 Chronicles. And how many of you have heard of the prayer of Jabez? Most of you have, the prayer of Jabez. You know, one of the things that that I certainly am aware of is that, the wider your bucket, the more water you can take in. You got a little bottle cap open, ain't so much can get in, but if you open it up, and I say that to say that our relationship with the Lord is the same way, is that the more opportunities you open up, the Lord said, open your mouth and I'll fill it. The more opportunities you give God to speak, that is to say, the more conscious you are trying to be aware of God in your life through, reading scriptures and reading your devotional type materials that you have, inspirational kinds of things where you are very conscious of God's activity in your life. The more often he can speak into your life, the more often you recognize him speaking into your life. Conversely, the less time you do that, the narrower that window gets. If I'm kind of into the Lord and kind of making sure I'm in a discipline all week, then the Lord can speak to me all week. You know what I mean? He'll come to me in little ways. Not just doing study time. You can ride along in the car and you'll see something. It'll connect with something with you. Something will come on the radio. But sometimes I'm glad that I don't always listen to gospel stations. A lot of times now I don't listen to nothing. It's just quiet, I believe. But there's times where I've been really grateful that I have, because it's given me the linchpin for a Sunday morning kind of thing. I'm like, that's it, Lord, thank you, that kind of thing. So, had I been jamming off something else, I would have missed it. It wouldn't have been that God didn't have it for me. So you see, what I'm saying is that the wider you open it up, the more opportunities come. Well, over these last few months, of what we've been going through, trying to, all that kind of stuff, my window has been closing. I've been, kind of over here and kind of fretting a little bit about this, and kind of a lot of things. Then to get up on Wednesday, I'm like, okay, Lord, we hadn't had a real conversation about Sunday yet. So let me, it's like cramming for a midterm or finals. You ain't read nothing all semester. And then it come down finals time, you got about 12 chapters you got to get through and understand. But you're gonna dig that. But you can't live. You can't make your living like that, college students. You can't make it like that. I mean, So Sundays, I like to take Lord give me something, a few weeks before. I kind of walk around with it, let it live with me a while, and then sometimes he'll say that's for Sunday. Sometimes it'll just be stored somewhere, and then something else will connect later on with it, and it'll come to life. Well, I've been drifting over into that, cramming for a finals kind of thing for Sunday morning. He's been speaking. I'm like, Lord, okay, I know I've been doing a lot of stuff this week, but let's lock in and you tell me what you want me to, because I can't get up there and have nothing to say now. So I go down in the basement and we stay down there as long as it takes. And so I knew, I said, I got to change my pattern. I'm slipping over into something, you know, you can't make a living off that. You gotta get back to how you used to be. And how I used to be, I used to have like, you know, a couple of things I read each day. Like, you know, you kind of got to get back to that. And so in the middle of this, I walked into our kitchen, and on the counter by the sink, there was a calendar. I guess my wife had a calendar laying out there. It wasn't a calendar. It was a torn out. May was torn out. It was just that. And you know, we're gonna do a little vacationing soon for Memorial Day weekend for our anniversary. And she had. I looked on there, and it was marked down 15 days, 14 days, 13 days. Man, she really want to get out of here. You know, and so I was looking at that, and I kind of chuckled at that. But in the corner of each day, there was a little thing of little scriptures you could read. Two, you know, a scripture for Old Testament, scripture for New Testament. You know, and you know, 1 Kings 24 something, and then John. So I said, well, that's, you know, the Lord speaks to me that way. Not when I'm fretting about what you want me to say, something, you know, but just relax and just get in the groove again. You know, get in the groove again. So I locked into that, you know, like Monday. So then it came to 2 Corinthians, and it just in my spirit, it said, the Lord has something in here for you that resonates with you and hopefully with the people, but it has to be in me first. And so what I'm saying is that that's how I got led to the prayer of Jabez. And I want to read, and I'm going to read the prayer of Jabez, and then I'm going to come back to my story and show you how it connects, and then we'll hopefully it'll come together. It says, Jabez was honored more than his brothers. This is 1 Chronicles 4:9. Jabez was honored more than his brothers, and his mother named him Jabez, saying, because I bore him in pain. Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me and enlarge or increase my border, increase my territory, is how we say. Oh, that you would bless me and increase my territory, enlarge my territory. And that your hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from hurt and harm. And God granted what he asked. And so I came upon that, but it was a long time. So back to the story in the kitchen. And so I read the 1 Kings. And I said, I'm going to just pick up with this day. I ain't going to go back. I'm going to pick up with this day. And I'm going to read 1 Kings, and then I'm going to read John 5. Then after that, Tuesday, it went to 1 Chronicles. And it was like 1 through 5. I was like, okay, 1 through 5. That's a good little discipline for the day. I need a little more discipline. I've been undisciplined. So let's find some time to read it. So this is what I want you to follow. I want you to follow me how I discovered Jabez, and it'll influence the story. So I'm sorry, I'm getting back in the groove. I'm going to turn to 1 Chronicles chapter 1, William, and it says, Adam, Seth, Enoch, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, I know that name, Lamech, Noah, I know him. Noah's three boys, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I said, yeah, wasn't one of them boys black? So I kind of read down a little bit further and saw the descendants of, verse 8 says, descendants of Ham, Cush, that's Ethiopia and Sudan and all of that, Egypt. So Ham, we know, this is the table of nations, right? So Ham is the black one. And out of him comes Cush, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Put, which is Libya and so forth, and Canaan, the land of Canaan, the black man's, you know, I didn't want to go into all that. I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, for that. I love the stuff. That was kind of worth it, knowing a little bit more about that. And then I kind of read on. If you read on, it says Egypt, verse 11, Egypt became the father of Ludum, Ananim, Lehanim, Nephilim, Parthas, all this kind of stuff. Canaan became the father of Sidon, the firstborn of Heth, and so forth, so forth. So I'm reading on. So nice genealogy. This is a genealogy, right? God's people. Drop down to verse 28. Oh, Abraham to Jacob, all right? The sons of Abraham were Isaac, Ishmael. These are their genealogies. The firstborn of Ishmael was Naboth and Kedar, Abdil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Masa. So all of these, you know, on down, they're like, I said, okay, I'm going to get to a narrative in here somewhere. And went on down with Abraham, verse 34. Abraham became the father of Isaac, the sons of Isaac, Esau and Israel, the sons of Esau, Eliphaz. So these just family trees. All right? I said, well, maybe chapter 2 got a story for me. All right? So let's start off there. Chapter 2. These are the sons of Israel: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Benjamin, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. The sons of Judah are Onan, Shelah, three Canaanite women that Shua bore to him. Now Judah's firstborn. By this time my eyes are kind of glazing over like this. I'm like, okay, I'm sticking to my plan here. It's in here, okay, maybe we'll finally come across something a little later here. Verse 9 of chapter 2, the sons of Hezron who were born to Jeremiel, Ram. Well, you're getting the point, right? You're getting the point, right? So I said, well, maybe let me just, sometimes the Lord don't mind if you skip. I ain't nothing happening in here, so I'm gonna skip in this. So I said, let me skip over to chapter 3. And so then it says, the sons of David. All right, maybe I'm getting into listen. The sons of David, watch this. The sons of David who were born to him in Hebron when he first became king. The firstborn, Ammon, by Ahinoam, the Jezreelite. The second one was Daniel, by Abigail, the Carmelite. The third son of David was Absalom, heard of him, the son of Maacah, daughter of King Talmai of Geshur. The fourth boy was Adonijah, heard of him, son of Haggith. The fifth boy was, we call him Shep. Shep was by Abital. The sixth boy was Ithram, by his wife Elgah. 6 were born to him in Hebron, where he reigned for 7 years and 6 months. So in 7 years and 6 months, he had 6 boys by 6 different women. I said that. Ooh. King David had 6 boys, 6 chaps, by 6 different women in 7 years. He was not only a man after God's heart, he was a man after a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And I read that and I said, why is that? I had never. And it occurred to me, if there's hope for all of us. If he's a man after God's own heart, and he has a legacy like this, and the legacy has been hidden from most of us, all you knew about was Solomon, Bathsheba. Right? Let me read on. That's why you got to kind of take your time to read certain things. All right. So and then it says in verse 5. It says he reigned 33 years in Jerusalem. Verse 5. These were born to him in Jerusalem: Shemiah, Shobab, Nathan. You ain't never heard of these kids. He's the one that was, he's the kids you ain't never heard of. You know what I mean? Shobab, you ain't never heard of Shobab. You didn't know Shobab was David's boy, did you? All right? Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, we know him. 4 by Bathshua, daughter of Amiel, then Abhar, Elishma, you ain't never heard of this. You ain't never heard of it. Elishma, Eliphat, never heard of that. Nogah, Nebgib, Jephthah, you ain't never heard of these kids yet. 9 of them. All right? All these were David's sons besides the sons of the concubines. 6 by 6 different women, 9 more, and that ain't counting. Again, if you feeling like God can't forgive you for something, if you feeling like you done gone so far, you know what I'm saying? If you feel that way, this suggests to you that there's hope for all of us. That's what it said to me in my devotion. My God, and he's a man after God's own heart? What a narrative. How you deal with that? Reconcile that. Reconcile that ain't been told. Reconcile that ain't been preached. Reconcile that with the grace of God. But that ain't the story today. So I was like, let me quit right there for the day. And let me come back. So I came back and picked up, said, okay. And then it started all over again. You know, the descendants of Solomon, and it goes on and on. Then I got to chapter 4, same thing. Look at the opening chapter 4. The sons of Judah, Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur. So I said, this has been 4 chapters of nothing but a family tree and a lineage. Right? 4 whole chapters of that. Right? And then we come on down and kind of getting close to where we at now. So we get down to, son of this, these were the sons of Nehera. Verse 7. The sons of Helah, we don't know who these people are, but the sons of Helah, Zereth, Izar, and Ethnan, Kaz. Follow me now, hang with me. Kaz became the father of Anub, Zobida, and the families of Aharel. My eyes are really glazing over. And then it says, Jebel was honored more than his brothers, and his mother named him Jabez because he was born in pain. And Jebel called on the name of the Lord of Israel and said, bless me, O Lord, and increase my territory, enlarge my territory. And I'm like, where did he come from? Like, already for 4 whole doggone chapters, nothing but so-and-so begat so-and-so, and so-and-so had this baby, so-and-so had this baby, this baby, this baby. And if you read it, if you're just reading along like that, and these names you're trying to pronounce, I'm trying to pronounce this, and I get to verse 8, Kaz became the father of so-and-so, Zebah, and I'm having time. I said, if I say this in church, I'm going to have to know how to say these names. So I kind of take my time to pronounce them and so forth. And then Jabez. Jabez? Who's his dad? Doesn't say. So I make note of that. Everybody else in here, everybody else for 4 chapters, they told you where they come from, they told you the daddy, they told you the mama, they told you who came after him, they told you what kids he had, what offspring was from them, they told you all of that with everybody except Jabez. So it seems to me that if you watch the narrative with the Bible, it's not only what's said, it's how it's said. Sometimes how it's said has more significance as what's said. I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute, but we're on a plane of just kind of going along. This is son, and then it says Jabez was more honored by his brothers. I start flipping back. Did I miss Jabez and all? Once your eyes glaze over, you can miss him fast. Let me turn back and see where I see his name before, some daddy or somebody who had him and so forth. And I look all the way back to the first chapter, and it doesn't mention it. It doesn't mention his family. It doesn't mention his daddy. Did he have one? Was he around? And the mother, what was her name? Why is there so much unmentionables around his name? What is there to skip over? Why we named all that stuff with David? Why did it skip over where he came from? This is the first time that he, as a person named Jabez, is ever mentioned. It just pops up. Jabez is more honored. Where did that come from? Jabez is more honored than his brothers. And the word honored is an interesting word. In Hebrew, the word honored is kind of like what we say, but the word honored literally means heavy. It means weighted. It means, it also can mean hard. As a matter of fact, when the Bible says that God hardened Pharaoh's heart, remember, we've heard that God hardened his heart. That's the same word as honored. It's the same word. So it can mean, and really, sometimes you can see the heavy, because if you're honored with something, it comes with a certain weight. So that's where the heavy comes from. Listen. You all want to be a manager. You all want to be a vice president. You all want to be that. But that's a heavy. It comes with something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to be a parent. Let me tell you, that comes with a weight, buddy. Anything that you're honored for inherently carries a certain gravity to it. If only the man in the White House knew that. So we ain't talking about that today. We're talking about Jabez. So bring me up. So So here's the deal. So the deal is that Jabez, I got intrigued by the fact that nothing is mentioned about his story, about where he came from, about how he evolved, who was his daddy, and so forth. And then what his mama named him. His mama named him Jabez, literally means to cause pain. In other words, listen, when it says Jabez was honored more than his brothers, and his mother named him Jabez, saying that because I bore him in pain, what he's saying is the one who causes pain. How can you look at your little baby that's born and name him the one who caused me a whole lot of pain and grief? And it means mental and physical anguish. The name Jabez literally means sorrow. It means sorrow. And the name is a mark of individuality. It is named, it says something about your individuality. It says something about your character. So here it is. This boy has to live for his whole birthing life and young adult life, has to live with the fact that he's known by, that he's brought pain to people. His very essence. And mama named him that. And so that says something. There's indicate. We can't be for sure because Jabez is not mentioned anywhere else in the Bible but these two scriptures. So we don't know what his history was. We don't know. But we know there's something up with that family because it's not mentioned. And many of you prayed that prayer of Jabez. Well, you need to sit where Jabez has sat. Think about it. Think about grade school. You know, 4th grade, homeroom. Amy, here, homeroom class. Ben, here. Alvin, present. There's always one of them got to be given. Present. The one who causes pain, sorrowful, are you here today? Mental and physical anguish, raise your hand. Can't you see him slumping? It is an identification. It says something about who you are. And so the one who prays the prayer to God is saying, you know, Lord, enlarge my territory. In other words, territory in that context means borders. In that context, it means limitation. So when you talk about a border, or when you talk about a territory, that territory has edges to it. And what he's saying is I'm tired of these limitations. Amen. And sometimes we all have inhibiting factors in our life. Yes. And it is an expression that I still have dreams. Listen to what he says. Oh, Lord, if you would. He said, oh, if you would bless me. Yeah. He didn't say bless me. He said, oh, if you can just bless me and enlarge my territory. What is he expressing when he's saying that? He's saying that this current circumstance is inhibiting. It is confining. It is shackling. And what is he expressing about God? So we've kind of established, and almost we've established a family dynamic here, and this kind of ties back into where we've been. It says about the battle that we're fighting, the challenge that we face. This is the particular challenge that he faces. The Apostle Paul says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You know that. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. So life is characterized as a wrestling match. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. It ain't people that we're scrapping against, no matter how bad we get. It ain't them, but against what he says, principalities. Principalities in the Greek, its original language, principalities literally means beginnings. It means first things. It means origin. So if you put that in a sentence, he's saying, the Apostle Paul is saying, what we wrestle against ain't human beings. What we're wrestling against is our origin. Now we're back to his family. What we're wrestling against is things that have always been with you. Your upbringing. The things that happened early on in your life that domestic abuse, the indecencies, the decisions that you made a long time ago but nobody knows about. Those are the real demons. Paul said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. We wrestle against the origin of things. We wrestle against the presupposition. We wrestle against the prejudice, the prejudgedness. We wrestle against the origin of things. We wrestle against how we are defined. If someone views you a certain way, that person is bad, but that view is worse. That's why it wasn't the slave master that was the issue. It was the issue of slavery. The fact that you see me as 2/3, 3/4 human, you ain't that concept of viewing me as less than human. That's the problem. Yes. I can kill you and still yet that problem exists. Yes. I can get rid of you, but still yet if people view me as less than human, then our battle is against the sense of how people view us. Yes. How they seek to define us. Yes. Or how you seek to be defined. It ain't got to be as nefarious as slavery. It ain't got to be as somebody saying, you ain't she's a slut. That's how somebody's defined. Well, she's easy, he's easy, whatever. Whatever. You put it to it. But it is those definitions, definitions that we are opposed to, that the scrap is really about. So when we say we wrestle not against flesh and blood, now back to Jabez. Think about that. He's wrestling against the fact that daddy ain't never been around. Obviously. You don't mention him. They mention everybody else's daddy. So Jabez, the one who prays the beautiful prayer that all the women and some men quote, was somebody who probably didn't have a daddy around, who was a pain for his mother, and who probably treated him that way, who had these deep scars, inhibited scars, who had pain from things maybe he'd never shared with anybody else, and who in some senses the world wanted to define that way. Well, when he talked to the Lord about it, he was acknowledging that God does not, that one of the primary things that God does in somebody's life is break that mold. He doesn't want you to be defined by what's happened to you. So, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. I want my potential, I want my future to be limitless. Take the lid off. I want to dream. I want to strive. I want a future that's markedly different than my present. And I want you to go with me. That's the big part. Last point I'll make is Moses and the Israelites have hung around this Mount Sinai for a long time. And God said, go on. Y'all have messed up so much. I've lost patience with you. Go on to the promised land. I'm not going with you. I'll send my presence, but I'm not going. Moses didn't know what that meant. You're going to send your presence, but you ain't going. Well, if you ain't going, that's what Moses said. If you don't go with us, how is the world gonna know who we are? Because he said it's because you've been with us. That's how we get our distinction. He said, if you don't go with us, I'm not going. I don't want the promised land if you ain't in it. I don't want the job if you're not in it. I don't want the relationship if you're not in it. I don't want the promotion if you're not in it. I don't want the relationship if you're not in it. For how will we be distinct among the nations except that you're with us? He acknowledged in saying that we are no different than the heathen. The only thing that makes you different than anybody else in all of creation is God is with you. It ain't your behavior. It certainly ain't your attitude. It's certainly not what you've done. Moses said the only thing that makes us different in this world, God, is you done opened up doors for us like you opened up for nobody else. You parted the water so we could get through. You fought the enemy so we could get away. That's the only thing that makes you unique. Is that the Lord has been with you, amen? Brought you out a whole bunch of things, hasn't it? Opened doors that nobody could close. Helped you climb hills real hard to climb. The way got heavy. The road got heavy. And the hills got hard to climb. But somehow you made it over because the Lord was with you. Picked you up, turned you around. Place your feet on the solid ground. And that's the only thing that, if you're honest with yourself, that's the oldest thing that makes you different. Ain't your holiness, it ain't your shout, it ain't your praise. But when you look in the mirror, you say, Lord, I want to thank you. I want to thank you because you brought me from a mighty long way. You stuck with me when I wasn't worth sticking to. You gave me favor, Lord, when I didn't deserve it. Mercy on top of mercy when I didn't deserve it. And I want to thank you today. I want to thank you. It's the only thing that makes us unique. The Lord has been with us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.